bread. It's not just a food, it's a way of life. We absolutely love bread around here, so I thought it would be great for me to share some new favorites I've been making, and I am gonna start with a good one, pimento cheese biscuits. And I'm gonna make a sweet and spicy butter to go with them. They are amazing and so easy to throw together. I'm just making the flour mixture now. Started with some all-purpose flour and added baking powder and baking soda, and then sugar and salt, couple of teaspoons of each. And I'm using kosher salt, but it works if you just want to use regular iodized salt too. All right, now, of course, the butter has to make a very big appearance, and I have a whole bunch of frozen butter that I grated. It's good to freeze the butter really solid, and then it's easy to grate, and this will help it work into the dough a little bit more easily. And for the first addition of cheese, I'm gonna add a little bit of grated sharp cheddar, and then I'm gonna break out my pastry blender. And I'm just gonna keep working it together until the butter and cheese are totally mixed in with the flour. I am actually heading to Bartlesville later today, and I am going to give most of these biscuits to my dad. I'll drop them off at his house for two reasons. First of all, I got my love of bread from my dad and my love of biscuits specifically. He loves treats like this. And the other reason I'm dropping them off with my dad is so I will get them out of my house because they are so delicious. I can't resist them. I mean, they would not last the day. They would not last the daylight if I kept them here. Basically, you want to keep working the mixture until you don't see any big gobs of butter or cheese for that matter. And I think we are looking good. So I'll keep moving on. I'm gonna add some buttermilk, which I think makes for the best biscuits. Now I'm gonna add some chipotle peppers, which add amazing flavor and a little bit of spice. And then a jar of drained pimentos, because this is pimento cheese biscuit dough. And then another little handful of cheddar. And for this mixture, I'm going to just fold it together. Oh my gosh. Okay, now it's about halfway mixed together, so I'm gonna add some Monterey Jack cheese and then some chopped fresh dill. Okay, you definitely don't wanna overwork biscuit dough. Just keep folding until you don't see any big bunches of dry flour. And I am pretty much there. So now I have a whole bunch of things I'm about to do to this dough. I'm gonna roll it, cut it, stack it, chill it, and bake it. I'll get going with the first steps. First, I'll flour the board, turn out the dough, pat it, and roll it into a 1/2-inch thick square. Then I'll cut the dough into 4 equal squares and stack them on top of each other. Next, I'll roll the dough into another 1/2-inch thick square. Cut it one way, then the next into quarters, and stack them up. Then I'll repeat the steps, cutting and stacking, but this time I'll sprinkle the remaining 1/3 cup of shredded cheddar on the bottom 3 layers and put the final square of dough on top. Then, same as before, roll it out, this time to a 3/4 inch thick rectangle. Finally, I'll cut it into 9 squares with 2 lines down, 2 across, and put it on a baking sheet. Chilling is the next step, so I'll put the biscuits in the fridge for 15 minutes. This will help them rise. Then comes baking. I'll put them in a 425-degree oven for 15 minutes until they're golden brown. All right, those beautiful biscuits are baking in the oven. So while I wait on them, I'm gonna make that butter I told you about, and it's sweet and spicy, my 2 favorite things. So I have a stick of salted butter and I let it get pretty soft, and I'm adding just about a 1/2 teaspoon or so of cayenne pepper. And for the sweet, just a little bit of honey. It's that simple. So you don't have to add a whole bunch of different ingredients. All right, look at this. I love the color. That cayenne just adds those pretty little flecks. Well, guess what? Those biscuits are ready. So I'm gonna grab those out of the oven. They smell so good. I'm sure that doesn't surprise you. Oh my gosh. The color of these biscuits. I mean, look at how much they puffed up, and you can see those layers. The process of getting them in the oven takes a little time, but it's always worth it when you see these. Oh my gosh. Now, as I said, I am going to deliver most of these to my dad. I have to have one of these. They are just too irresistible. I'm gonna break one open. Ooh, hot. So much yumminess. And I've got to spread on some of this spicy sweet butter. Just a little. I think of butter as like a condiment at this point. I really slather it on. All right, now I like to sprinkle on some extra dill, just a few little leaves. What a treat this is. Well, this is the first of my delicious bread recipes I'm gonna share with you today. You know, I could just stop here. These are so amazing. But honestly, when it comes to bread, when have you ever known me to stop? If I ever stop and think about the different forms of bread that happen in my kitchen on any given week, I mean, we're talking from pizza crust to bread pudding to French toast to even croutons. It's a little astounding, I gotta be honest. Well, let's not forget about another form of bread I use all the time, breadcrumbs. Now, normally I use store-bought plain breadcrumbs, but I want to show you how to make fried mozzarella using a combination of store-bought and fresh. I've just been crumbling up the fresh breadcrumbs, and I just used store-bought Italian sandwich bread. Very simple. You can basically just use any white bread. And I've crumbled it up to little pieces, but there's still chunks of bread, and that is going to make the breadcrumb mixture so amazing. So I'm going to mix the fresh breadcrumbs with the store-bought breadcrumbs. I'm going to go ahead and season these with salt and pepper and quite a bit of fresh chopped parsley and some Italian seasoning. Great combo. So of course, store-bought breadcrumbs are always consistent. They're easy to keep in your pantries, but if you mix in these fresh breadcrumbs, you get a little bit more of that fresh bread flavor and of course the amazing texture. Okay, now another thing I'm gonna add to this breadcrumb mixture is shredded Parmesan. Now you would think if you added Parm to this breading mixture, you'd wanna do the finely grated kind of powdery Parmesan, but I'm telling you, these shreds are amazing. And anything that you fry, they get those little kind of crispy Parmesan edges. Really, really tasty. All right, now I'm going to bread the mozzarella for frying, and I'm just gonna do one batch to start with. So I've got just pre-sliced fresh mozzarella, and I'll drop a couple of pieces in plain flour. This is just kind of a typical breading assembly line. And then shake off the excess, dunk the pieces in egg, just beaten egg, and then drop it into the breadcrumb mixture, and then check and make sure they're coated. And then I'm gonna do 3 more, so I'll have 5 to fry. Okay, now it's time to fry these beautiful babies. They look amazing. Now I have some oil that is about 350 degrees, so I'll just very carefully lower these into the oil. Oh wow, listen to that sizzle. And as you can imagine, these don't take long to cook at all. So I'm gonna move them around just a little bit, and you really wanna watch it. This isn't something you just wanna drop in and then go do a load of laundry. You really need to watch. All right. This is looking good. I'm going to start turning these over because I see that the cheese is starting to melt. Goodness gracious. All righty. Now it's not going to take long at all on the second side. So I'm going to go ahead and get some warm marinara sauce into a dish. You have to have marinara whenever you have fried mozzarella. It's a rule. You don't want to break the rules. All righty. And then they come out. The only tricky thing about fried mozzarella is you want to get them out of the oil before that cheese breaks loose, because then you'll have a mess on your hands. A delicious mess, yes, but still a mess. So this is really just one serving, in my opinion, maybe 2 servings for some, but just get them onto a plate with the marinara sauce. I don't think there is anything better than this. All right, so not that melted cheese needs any help at all, but I'm telling you what, this breading with the homemade breadcrumbs, you have got to try this soon. I might let it cool down before I take a bite.